Welcome back to TTP Sports. Welcome back. Man, wow. I can't believe we're doing this again. I can't believe it. I should believe it. I should believe it. Because that's what this team has done so far in the first 2 months. We are done 2 calendar months so far in the Major League Baseball season. So far, the Phillies on the year. The Phillies on the year. They are 25-30. They are 5 games below 500. 5 games below 500. Overall, this entire month has been terrible. Has been terrible. Maybe they try to sprinkle in something good to make you believe, to make you, get your hopes up a little bit. Maybe this is going to be the situation where they finally break out of this little inconsistent funk that they're in, and they possibly go on a good stretch of winning, maybe 5-6 games in a row under their belts to get a little confidence in them. Maybe, this one start by, say, an Aaron Nola can, not this specific start because Aaron Nola was goddamn trash today, but say like the Aaron Nola start against the Chicago Cubs, 10 plus strikeouts, 7 innings, he was very good. He could build off of that going forward, and maybe it's good for the long run. Everyone else building some consistencies with the offense, hitting with runners in scoring position, getting, 5 runs every so games or something like that. Building some consistency and getting this fan base, very excited. But, right now, with this Phillies team, it's just nothing but pain. It's just nothing but anger. It's just nothing but frustration. It's just all the same crap. They're doing it week after week after week. The inconsistencies, the frustration, the bad starting pitching, the inconsistent offense that cannot hit with runners in scoring position, scoring 0 runs last night, scoring 1 run today on a home run by Edmundo Sosa. You get runners on in scoring position later on in the ball game, and you can't get hits. Trey Turner continues to suck. This offense continues to be lackluster. Aaron Nola can, for some reason, never build off of a good start. This is 2 bad starts in a row. Go figure for Aaron Nola. Ever since that goddamn Cubs game, he was bad in the first game against the Atlanta Braves, and ho-hum, the Phillies had a chance to win that series if Aaron Nola actually pitched like he can, but he didn't, and the Phillies ended up splitting. And now, that split against the Atlanta Braves, which I took as a positive coming out of it, it means absolutely nothing to me now. It means absolutely nothing because of what you're doing this series against the Mets, because, oh boy, you lost another series against the New York Mets. The team that we didn't win in a series at all last year. You remember that? The entire year, the Phillies were the Mets' bitch. They just couldn't beat them at all. There was just some mental advantage that the Mets had over the Phillies. In every series long, the Mets would just beat down on the Phillies, embarrass them, pants them, bend them over, why don't you? That's what they did all year last year. And then they do it again. And it's not like the Mets are playing this fantastic brand of baseball against the Phillies. The Mets offense, they haven't done much. It's just the Phillies offense hasn't done anything either. Ranger Suarez last night I thought was solid. Today, Aaron Nola, when the Phillies give him a 1-0 lead, automatically coughs it up. Automatically coughs it up, a home run to Canna. And then he gets into a jam the very next inning, 2 outs, Canna again. Apparently, Aaron Nola is Canna's bitch. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. We're going back to the same goddamn pattern of every time we score a run, our pitching gives it right back. And it's every time it's got with goddamn Nola on the mound. It's a joke. It's a joke. This keeps happening every goddamn year against this Mets team. You think that, We're the reigning National League champions. You think you're going to have some confidence on your shoulders. Teams are going to want to play you, to try to prove you wrong. And oh boy, teams have been proving you wrong all year so far. They've been, National League champions. Doesn't that make you want to reach a little bit further instead of getting a third wild card spot than what you did last year? Doesn't that, want to make you reach for the division? Get some good baseball to start right away, like some of these other teams are doing, like the Atlanta Braves, like the Texas Rangers that swept you on opening day weekend, and they continue to be really good. Don't you want to be that? Don't you want to be the Dodgers and all this stuff? Don't you want to be good right from the get-go and not have to grind the summer months to go on this unrealistic stretch that you did last year? Granted, it was a fun stretch, but not sustainable baseball. It's just not. And no wonder why you got tired at the end of the postseason run last year. Granted that it was the first time a lot of those people went deep into the playoffs. But you had to grind so much in the later months of the year just because of how bad April and May were again. And you had to go on this unrealistic winning percentage through the end of the year, and you still almost collapsed in September. You still almost did. Granted, other teams around you lost, and that's the reason why you got in. And then you went on that magical ride in the World Series. You did. You didn't win the whole thing, but it was a magical ride. Build off of that and come into next year even 20 times better. This team right now is 20 times worse. Flat out 50 times, 100 times, 1 billion times worse. That's what it feels like. Because how many more times can I say this team has way too much talent to be this bad? This team should be way better than the way that they're playing, because they should. They should. How is it going to be like this every single year where we have to claw and climb right back up in the standings? We're like few wins better than the goddamn Nationals. Really? Are you serious? We're only a few wins better than the Washington Nationals. And right now, with the way this team is playing, I don't even think they can beat the Washington Nationals. That's how bad they are. And right now, they suck. They suck. I don't care how much talent they have. For some reason, it is not mixing together. And will they go on a run just to, everything there? Don't you want to build off of last year? Don't you want to, improve? Don't you not want to put your fan base through a goddamn nightmare again? Because right now you are. Jesus. This team. I got nothing. I don't. Because you think against a division rival, okay, we struggled against you last year. It's not going to happen this year. Going into New York, first game, little bit cocky, want to go in there, you want to prove something to the other team, and you lay an egg twice. You look like you don't even want to be there. Don't you want to go out there and say, hey, motherfuckers, we're ready for you this time? But no. Every single one of you peed your pants. You peed your pants. Right there, on stage, in front of the entire classroom. You're that little kid on stage for whatever it is, show and tell or whatever it is that you do in the young grades. You sat there and peed your pants. You were speechless. Your voice was just wouldn't come out. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I see the Mets fans chirping in the goddamn chat. They'll collapse at the end of the year. I don't care. I care about my baseball team. That's all. I do. I care about my baseball team. Whatever the Mets fans think, I can give two lots of a shit. Let them go off in the chat if they want. Right now, I care about this baseball team and how much they make me feel pain. You know? How much they make me feel pain. Aaron Nola, man. I got nothing. I got nothing. I defend this guy so many times. Last year, he was fantastic last year. This year, there's no defending him. There's no defending him. He's been brutal. Brutal. He has been bad. 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 There's maybe 2 good starts. 2 that he has had all year. That one game against the Astros where he went 8 innings. It was fantastic. It was a great performance. And the game against the Chicago Cubs. Right now, those 2 games out of the entire year for Nola are the outlier. Are the outlier because he has been bad all year long. I don't care that's the pitch clock. I don't care if you weren't properly prepared to come into the year. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. How? How is it this bad again? How? How? How is it this bad again to start the year? Spitting all over myself here. That's how mad I am. How? How is it this bad again? What goes on in that clubhouse? What goes on in that clubhouse? That every year you start off slow. Every year. Every year. It doesn't make sense to me. I could say all the time this team is too talented and all that crap. Why are they sucking on the field? It doesn't make sense to me. I'm watching Trey Turner. I'm watching Trey Turner bat .236 with a .280 on base percentage at May 31st. .236! .236! .280 on base. This is what we're being punished with? An arguable top 5 player in baseball having his worst career season the moment he signs in Philadelphia. The moment! It's another goddamn Nick Castellanos. Oh my God. I don't get it. Bryce Harper's doing everything possible. It's not his fault. This is not a Rob Thompson fault. This is not a coaching staff fault. This is no one's fault in the management or anything like that. This is the players. This is the players' fault. This is the players. Because only the coaches can do so much. I don't get it. JT Realmuto has like 3 hits in the past 2 or 3 weeks or something like that. I think that's what I saw. My God. Look at the lineup today. Bryson Stott, 2 for 5. Trey Turner, 0 for 4. Bryce Harper, 2 for 4. Nick Castellanos, 0 for 4. Kyle Schwarber, 0 for 3. Tomorrow's June 1st. Tomorrow's June 1st. And Kyle Schwarber isn't turning it around fucking tomorrow. I'm going to fucking blow a gasket. JT Realmuto 0 for 4. Brandon Marsh 2 for 4. Cody Clemens 2 hits again. He's fantastic. I can't believe I'm raving this much about Cody Clemens. Edmundo Sosa 1 for 4. 0 for 7 runners in scoring position after not getting a single one last night. Aaron Nola 6 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts on 103 pitches. His ERA is 4.7. 4.7. The bullpen did their job. And now there's an injury situation with Bohm. He gets an MRI. I don't think we've heard anything about it since. I don't think we've heard anything about Bohm. I don't see anything here on Bohm at all. I see nothing on Bohm. Trey Turner is hitting 237. Kyle Schwarber 164. JT Realmuto has 3 hits in the last 2 weeks. That's from Sean Kane of NBC Sports Philly. Jason, if the Mets were doing the same thing, you would be acting the same exact way. When the Mets collapse in the playoffs again, we'll talk. Why does JT never get any blame? Oh, I'm blaming him mightily. I know you're not talking about me specifically. I don't know. I don't know. I'm seeing nothing here on the. I'm trying to look for the Alec Boehm. The last thing I saw was before the game. He had the MRI for the hamstring, and there's been nothing. I'm assuming we're not going to find out till tomorrow. I'm assuming we're not. It's hard to blame Castellanos because Castellanos, for the most part, for the 2 months, has been one of your best hitters. He's actually bounced back. He's batting .290, .338 on base, .453 slugging. It's the fact that everything else, Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, JT. Like JT, I know he has peaks and valleys, but the peaks and the valleys are so drastic. When he's on, he's on. When he's off, he's off. When he's off, he has 3 hits in 2 weeks. He hasn't hit a home run all month. JT Realmuto. He hasn't hit a home run the entire month of May. That's what Nick Castellanos did. What was it, the month of June last year? Or was it July? It was it was a couple of months last year where he didn't hit a single home run. My God. And I also saw a stat earlier today, too. I believe it was when the Phillies had runners in scoring position. This is specifically about JT Realmuto from Corey Seidman. JT Realmuto has been in a big rut the last 2 weeks. 3 for 35 with 11 strikeouts, 1 extra base hit, no RBI. Had hit 386 prior 3 weeks. It's been a streaky season. No shit. Let's see. Okay, that's the Alec Boehm situation there. Okay, here's another thing from Corey Seidman. This is about the this was during a runner in scoring position opportunity. A 2-out walk for Kyle Schwarber brings the tying run to the plate. I'm assuming this was later on in the ball game. The Phillies have 246 plate appearances this year with 2 men on base. They have 1 3-run home run. That last was Alec Boehm on April 10th. Alec Boehm on April 10th was the only 3-run home run of the season. The only. I don't get it. I don't get it. And it's not like even the Mets completely destroyed you today. You lost it yourselves. This game is winnable. The Mets had 5 hits and 4 runs. Let's look at their lineup. Nimmo went 0 for 4. Lindor went 0 for 4. McNeil 1 for 4. Alonso 1 for 4. Beatty 0 for 3 with a walk. Marte 0 for 3. Vogelbach had 2 walks in this game. Canada did all the damage. He had 2 for 3 and 4 RBI. It's not like the Mets were getting everything great. Your offense completely sucked. And Aaron Nola, too. Your bullpen was fine. You couldn't hit Carlos Carrasco. Carlos Carrasco coming into this game was an above 6 ERA. An above 6 ERA! And above, was it 6.28 or something like that? It's down to 5.74. It's still bad. Still bad. 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. And the 1 run was Sosa. Seriously, what's with the bottom of the lineup guys only doing shit? It's Cody Clemens or it's Sosa. It's Josh Harrison getting it. Where's everyone else? Where? My God. 11-20 on the road. 11-20. Oh my god. The only thing I see in my chat right now is everyone trying to roast Jason in the chat. I even got Mets fans roasting him. I agree, JK. Battle of the mid. Battle of the mid. Look at some of the comment section. We don't have any voicemails here, but let's get to some of your comments. Scott, how you doing, man? I'm sure you're feeling as much pain as I am. The Three Dog Night group said it perfectly. Just an old-fashioned crap show. I want to say crap shoot. Overall. CosmoCon, how you doing? The Mets and the Braves should not be this much better than the Phillies, but here we are. We have about the worst record, and we're about to have the worst record in the National League. I wouldn't be shocked. How you doing, Soto? Maybe they're just nothing more we can say about this team. At this point, they suck. They suck. Aaron Nola not having the contract year, was probably. I bet he regrets not signing the Phillies offer. Bet he regrets that. BJ, how you doing? Do you think this team is just cursed with? Apparently. There's some mental gap between the Phillies and the Mets. For some reason, this Phillies team just cannot beat them. It's not like the Mets are drastically better. It's not like the Phillies are drastically worse. Each team has their strengths. Each team has their flaws. Shouldn't be this much separation. Shouldn't be this much of a drastic outmatch. It shouldn't be. There's some mental goddamn advantage that the Mets have over the Phillies. And like I said, it strings back to that goddamn blown 7-1 lead last year. Something has to change. What do you think it caused? Because this shit is bothering me. I don't know. People keep saying make a trade. People keep saying make a trade. Teams don't trade this early in the year. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. I got nothing for you. Maybe June something happens, but at this point, no one's making trades. You won't be seeing stuff until you get closer to the trade deadline. Nothing major, at least. Butts of Jason being Jason. We are only a half a game above the Nats. That's nice. That's nice. Nola is overrated and has never been anything more than just okay. At least Nola decided to get washed in the contract year. Dr. Drew, how are you doing? I'm a Mets fan, but I admire your passion for your team, and I was way more positive about the Phillies than you were last year. Yes, you were. You definitely were. I appreciate you, Dr. Drew. Appreciate it. Everyone's going after Jason here. Did Bryce hurt his knee at the end? I don't see anything about Bryce here. I haven't seen anything from the post-game presser on Twitter. I saw Rob speaking on Phillies post-game, but there has been nothing here. I got nothing there. Bryson Stott, Alec Bowman, Bryce Harper, only dudes who give a damn, and also Cody Clemens and Marsh low-key. Basically right now. 10-16 record in the month of May is awful. Exactly. I agree with that. There's no fighting in the Phils. Trey Turner, JT, and Schwarber are complete garbage right now. That is true. No one on this team is going to be an all-star. Every team gets an all-star. It'll probably be like, if I'm looking at this team, no one deserves to be an all-star, honestly. If Jose Alvarado, he probably would have been it. Can you argue Stott? Because Stott's batting to what, 290, 325 on base, 403 slug. Another multi-hit game for him. Maybe Stott gets some votes as a sub in the All-Star game. Other than that, I have no idea. Was the Rhys Hoskins loss really that big? It shouldn't be, but it's really feeling like it. Yes, you're losing 30 home runs and 80 plus RBI, and you're losing a big right-handed power bat. That is a huge loss. It really is. It shouldn't be to this extent, but it is. And we got Taijuan Walker against Max Scherzer tomorrow. Jesus Christ. We say that, and somehow Taijuan Walker will throw a gem, even though I doubt that. Because that's the Phillies. Holy hell. Bryce will get in because of the name? I don't think Bryce has made an all-star game in a Phillies uniform, unless he gets in and he chooses not to go, which I wouldn't blame it at all. The rest had a elbow. Even if he does get in, he probably won't attend the all-star game. My bet is probably Stott. I think he's the only Phillies all-star. Like, seriously, I'm just trying to think of what you can fucking do. Because at this point, one of my buddies in my Discord chat just brought this up. Nothing they can do except wait for the good players to stop playing like dog shit. It's a terrible strategy, yes, yes, they're running out of time, but they're not, because every single goddamn good player is playing like dog shit. It really is. If Schwarber seriously does not turn the corner tomorrow afternoon, because it is June, that is when Schwarber is supposed to go off. That is when Schwarber is supposed to start, completely turn the corner, is June. If he doesn't do that, if you already thought they were screwed, they are screwed. Oh, God. Sir Anthony as an all-star gets the Mets. Bohm, I don't think Bohm gets in. It's not even to say that Bohm's playing bad. It's the fact that, I don't know. You already know the Phillies coaching staff's going to be a part of the All-Star game because they went to the World Series. Okay, Jason. I can give two shits of what you say. We got to win tomorrow and somehow sweep the Nats. I doubt that's going to happen. Completely doubt it. Completely doubt it. Yeah, there's nothing on Twitter from Rob Thompson here. I haven't seen anything. Nothing from Matt Gilb. Let me see. Haven't seen anything there from the post game. 7 runs in our last 4 games, my God. 7 runs in the last 34 innings. You can't even beat Carrasco. I hope you don't think you can beat Scherzer. When did I say that? When did I say that, Jason? It really doesn't matter how the line is set up when no one can hit with men on. Exactly. Guys, let Jason go off. He's a loser. Bomb.com. Schwarber gets rocks thrown at him daily by you fair weather fans. All your radio stations despise the Mets and shit on them daily. What? I have no idea what you mean there, man. If you're saying fair weather fans, it's I don't even know. I don't even know. It's not even worth it. Not even worth it. I'm just ultra confused at what you guys are saying. Ultra confused. Phillies sweep the Mets in a 3-game wild card series. JK, that's very, It's very hefty thinking there. Oh joy. Let's see. Let me see something. Phillies won't even get within 3 games of the wild card. Probably not. Probably not with the way they're playing. I'm just trying to see if there's like nothing here from any of the insiders about what Rob Thompson said. It's just right. Jesus. Here we go. Okay, here's an article from Corey Seidman. Let me read this. Okay, this is posted right from Corey Seidman right after the game. Okay. Article is titled, Another Night Devoid of Clutch Hitting for a Phillies Team Struggling to Win on the Road. The Phillies won 2 in a row over the weekend in Atlanta, but now have dropped 3 straight games on their NL East road trip, losing 4-1 to the Mets on Wednesday night in another feeble offensive effort. The Phillies are 25-30, went 10-16 in May, and have lost 17 out of their last 22 games against the Mets. Go figure. They're having a lot of difficulty away from Citizens Bank Park. The Phillies are 11-20 on the road, and their pitching staff is a 5.52 ERA, third worst in baseball. Yeah, T-Man, you are wrong on that. Yankees are the Cowboys of baseball. I agree with Jason on that. It's the Yankee. If you're talking about the biggest bandwagon fans in sports, it's the New York Yankees, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Dallas Cowboys, Duke Blue Devils. Those are the biggest bandwagon fans in the U.S. Those 4 teams. I don't think there's a hockey one. I doubt it. But it's those 4. Yankees, Dallas, Lakers, and Duke. They scored first on Wednesday on an Edmundo Sosa home run to left field, but Aaron Nola immediately gave it back, serving up a 2-run shot to Mark Canha in the bottom of the 3rd. Shutdown innings have been elusive this month. An inning later, Canha singled in 2 runs with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Nola, like most of his teammates, has been inconsistent in 2023. He struck out a season-high 10-7 innings in a win over the Cubs on May 20th and spoke afterwards about having felt in command of his full repertoire for the first time all year. Then was taken deep 3 times in Atlanta last Thursday. Thanks for reminding me, Corey. And took another loss in New York. The Phillies are 5-7 in his starts. They're frustrated. They care a lot. They want to win, manager Rob Thompson says. Sometimes you try a little bit too hard. Guys try to put the entire team on their shoulders. They got to relax. It was another nearly devoid of walks for the Phillies offense, which has chased pitchers at a higher rate than every team in the majors except the White Sox. The Phillies have hit 56 home runs this year, and 34 have been solo shots. They have 1 3-run home run, which was Alec Bohm on April 10th, and 1 grand slam, which was Kyle Schwarber on May 20th. That's it. It's a byproduct of the team that doesn't take free passes. Everyone's frustrated, Trey Turner said. It's a matter of believing in ourselves at what we're capable of and playing better, getting the bat rolling. It's kind of what comes first, having fun, playing better, or both, ? Schwarber worked the Phillies only walked with 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning to bring the tying run to the plate in the form of JT Realmuto, who looked at a hanging curveball for strike 1 and chased the next 2 pitches out of the zone to tap out the third base. Realmuto has been in a huge rut the last 2 weeks, going 3 for 37 with 11 strikeouts, 1 extra base hit, and no RBI. He has hit .386 the prior 3 weeks. He'll have off Wednesday afternoon. Joy. The Phillies had 2 with 2 outs, 2 on with 2 outs in the 7th, but Turner also grounded out the 3rd. He's hit .139, on base of .231, and .348 slugging in his last 38 games. Joy. That's beautiful. Their last shot came in the 9th with Brandon Marsh singled, and Cody Orlemans was hit by a pitch with 1 out to send a tying run to the plate for the 3rd time in 4 innings. But closer David Robertson struck out Sosa and retired Bryce and Stott to end the game for the 2nd straight night. Just got to find our stride, Turner said. We know it's there. We know it's going to come, but we want to get this thing started and play better. It's more frustration than anything. We've got a lot of talented guys in the clubhouse who can play better, and we will. We've been saying it all along, Trey. Where's it actually going to happen? The Phillies have scored 1 run in their first 2 games of the series. Kodai Senga, Carlos Carrasco combined for 43 walks in 73 innings prior to the last 2 nights, but issued just 1 in their 13 innings against the Phillies. Salvaging a win in this 3-game series won't be easy when Taijuan Walker opposes Max Scherzer at 110. The Phillies split their 4 matchups with Scherzer last season, homering 3 times in one of the games and pounding out 10 hits in another. We're going through a tough time, Thompson said. I don't think there's a secret pill or anything we can take. They just got to keep fighting and keep grinding. That's it. Joy. JK and Jason Mayer going after it in the chat. I'll let those two do their thing. Is there anything else that I can bring up? I don't know. Don't know. Don't know. Nope, there's another Mets fan. Jeremy, you probably want to reword that. Phillies are 16-5 against the Mets the last 2 years. I think the Mets are 16-5 against the Phillies the last 2 years. I think you gotta reword that. Yeah, I see you deleted the message. You can't hide that shit from me. I see all things. Jeremy. Can't hide that shit from me. Oh, wow. In terms of basketball news, Monty Williams has agreed to a 6-year contract to coach the Detroit Pistons. If anyone cares about that. I just saw it from Woj. You can't hide that shit from me, Jeremy. I can see everything. Anything else here on the Twitterverse before we possibly end this stream and end my suffering? Even though the suffering is never going to end with this team. It just never is. Never is. Mets fans that are in the chat, talk shit all you want. I don't care. I welcome the shit talk. That's what we do here. I have nice Mets fans that are subscribed to me. I appreciate them. But if a Mets fan wants to come in here or any other team from a fan base that wants to come in here and talk shit, feel free. Feel free. You deserve it. You deserve to. Because right now we suck. Every other sports town eats it up when the Philadelphia teams are terrible. They just love to do it for some reason. I don't know why, but go ahead. You're free range. The live chat is there for a reason. I don't restrict anything. But if you want to go down to deep end, don't do that. Don't take it too far. You can talk your trash if you want to. Just don't go overboard. Just don't do that. That I won't stand by for. I'm assuming anything. Nope, that's just the Monty Williams update. I see your little edit there, Jeremy. Like I said, you can't hide shit from me. Come on, boys. Don't let it just be Jason. Don't let it just be Jason in the chat. Has our manager said any word of wisdom? I read that entire Corey Seidman article. Said the player frustrated, yada, 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 same old crap. I don't, you know, wasn't hiding, just mistyped. I'm just yanking your chain, Jeremy, don't worry. Yanking your chain. Don't think there's anything else here on Twitter. From what I see. Don't think there is. Don't think there is. There's really nothing else to it. Let me just look at the rest of the schedule. Why not? Let's see. So we know tomorrow's the last game of this series to at least try to salvage it. I have no hopes for that. Taiwan Walker against Max Scherzer. Scherzer's 4-2, 3.54 ERA, 1.13 WHIP. Last couple of starts. Best one against the Rockies, 7 innings there, 8 strikeouts. 0 earned runs against the Guardians, 1 earned run against the Nationals. 6 earned runs against the Tigers, and then 0 earned runs against the Dodgers, but those were shorter outings. Yeah, he's still Max Scherzer. 38 years old or not, he's still Max Scherzer. Then you get 3 games against the Nationals on the road. Then you're back home for 6 games, Tigers and Dodgers. Then you're on the West Coast again. Joy. 4 games in Arizona. 3 games against Oakland. Back home for 6 games against the National League East. 3 Braves, 3 Mets. And then 3 in Chicago against the Cubs. 3 at home against Washington. And then a Florida road trip to close out the All-Star break. Well, to close out the week before the All-Star break. 3 in Tampa Bay and 3 in Miami. Looking at the second half. Because why not? I like pain. You start off with a 4-game series at home against the Padres. 3 at home against the Brewers. 3 on the road in Cleveland. Back at home, 3 against Baltimore. Back on the road for 7 games. 3 in Pittsburgh, 4 in Miami. Home for a long stretch. 3 against Kansas City. 4 against Washington. 3 against Minnesota. Back on the road for 5 games, 2 in Toronto, 3 in Washington. Back at home for 9 games, 3 against San Francisco, 3 against St. Louis, 3 against Anaheim. On the road for 6 games, 3 in Milwaukee, 3 in San Diego. Back at home against the NL East, 3 against Miami, 3 against Atlanta. Then 3 in St. Louis, 3 in Atlanta. And then you close out the year with 7 of the last 10 games against the New York Mets. 4-game series at home, then a 3-game series against Pittsburgh at home, and then you close out the year, 3 games against the Mets. Joy. So after this series in Citi Field, you will not see the Mets in Citi Field until the last series of the year. That shows to go you this schedule. That's just weird. I'm not even complaining. That's just weird. Let's look at the standings so I can see more pain. Ugh. You have 1 more win than the White Sox. You have a worse run differential. My God. My God. Bro, don't give up on this team. This is coming from a Mets fan. I think they will figure it out soon. Hopefully, BJ. I have my doubts. I have my doubts. See? BJ's a nice Mets fan. But like I said, I don't discriminate. And at least Braves 33-23. They lost the series to the Athletics. That's weird. Mets are 29-27, tied with the Marlins for second place. Phillies are in 4th. 14-10 at home, 11-20 on the road. Yeah, Beautiful. NL Central. Very neck and neck. Brewers, 3 games above 500. Pittsburgh, 1 game above 500. Cincinnati, Jesus Christ, the Cubs fell to last place in that division. Wow. That's a weird division. Not a good division, honestly. Because the Pirates came back down to earth, as everyone expected. The Brewers are not that good, as everyone expected. That's just not a good division. The Cardinals have a +7 run differential, and they are 7 games below 500. That's weird. That is very weird. But the Cardinals have been playing a lot better baseball. So they're probably going to end up winning the division. Because that's the Cardinals. They have black magic. The NL West. The San Diego Padres. I'm sure they're experiencing the same type of pain that the Phillies are. I think I heard from the broadcast they're going through the same troubles with runners in scoring positions as the Phillies are. Padres are 25-30. They're 8 games behind the Dodgers. Dodgers are 34-23. The Diamondbacks are 32-23. And the Giants are 500 at 28-28. And then the Rockies are the Rockies. So, both the Padres and the Phillies are going through their shares of pain. 2 of the teams that were in the NLCS, both 5 games under 500. Joy. T-Man, I want to see more from the bullpen and the offense. Stop swinging at everything and get more runs for the board, for God's sakes. Yeah, I don't even think it's the bullpen has not been the issue. Surprisingly, the bullpen has probably been the best thing about this team this year. You probably meant the starting pitching, I think, T-Man. I think you meant the starting pitching. The bullpen has been the least of this team's worries. For once. But you know, the one time we get an actual solid bullpen, the rest of the team stinks. Go figure. Let's look at the American League before we close out. Because, yeah. Tampa Bay, of course, they're still dominating the AL East. That AL East is just a juggernaut of a division. Tampa Bay's 40-18. Baltimore's 35-21. The Yankees are 34-23. And the Blue Jays and the Red Sox, they've been slumping a little bit. Blue Jays are 2 games above 500, 29-27. And the Red Sox are 28-27. The Minnesota Twins, in the worst division in baseball, they're 1 game above 500. They are 28-27. Then you get the Dodgers, the Guardians, the White Sox, and the Royals. And then the American League West, Rangers are running that division, 35-20. Astros are 32-22. Angels are 30-27. The Mariners are 28-27. And there's the Athletics. Honestly, this Phillies team will probably lose the series to the Athletics. Not going to lie. Not going to lie. The Oakland Athletics are probably going to be one of the worst teams in baseball history, and the Phillies might lose a series to them. And that's just what I believe in myself with the way this team is playing. That's just what I am thinking. I still don't think I've seen anything from Rob Thompson, so I think that's going to do it for tonight. Yeah, I think that's what's going to do it for tonight. Yeah, that's what's going to do it for tonight. So, yeah, so that's going to do it for tonight, everybody. I appreciate everyone here that joins the stream as always. Phillies grant me pain. Apparently, I like pain. And they're going to give me more pain. Probably going to have nightmares. That's what this Phillies team does to me. So, this entire Phillies season so far has been a living nightmare. So, thank you everyone for joining tonight as always. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. I like to see those. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. Don't forget to check out everything in the description down below. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service. Also, use the code TTPSPORTS. $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Don't pass it up. Hit that subscribe button once again.